Hey everybody, welcome to what did you say?
Oh, I said yeah.
Oh, hi. Welcome to the November 30th, 2023 monthly wrap up
Did you miss
for
us?
every film we watched in the month of November.
Well, did you miss me? I mean, he's been on the channel more than me this month. As
Right.
we were winding down from our 31 days of spooky.
There you go. Yeah, so this has been an interesting month. This is obviously known as the Criterion month.
Mhm.
And we definitely did some criterioning.
I did more than you.
Criterioning.
Criterion.
And also we went to the theaters for Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, which we'll talk about.
I hope you all had a good one for those who are in the States.
No one thinks I'm abusing you.
Abusing.
But wait, what'd you say?
I was
Something about the
saying,
States?
yeah, I said for those who live in the States, hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Because nowhere else does Thanksgiving.
Right.
Stoopy or something.
Yeah, hopefully you had I said all this in the previous stream, so I'm not gonna say it again. So you get to say it this time.
What?
I said I hope I wished
No, yeah,
everybody a
no, that was
happy
it.
everything.
That
So
was it. Yeah, the stream that you didn't let me pop into.
did you let me pop in on your hangout with your friend?
I wouldn't have.
Exactly. Moving on,
You didn't
folks.
ask.
Moving on.
You didn't ask. Let it be known.
So yeah, we're gonna get right into this. We're not gonna dilly dally. Is that too low? Too high?
That's too high. I literally don't put my face directly in front of the mic because it's as big as my head.
Yeah, how's that?
That's fine. Should be fine.
That good? And look, she doesn't have a black eye, folks. Okay. Oh, now she has a black eye.
No, it's just my makeup.
All right. So, anyways, we're gonna get right into this, and we're gonna pull up. We're gonna let some of the comments pile up. You guys do your thing. Obviously, you know how live streams work.
Yeah, say hi to each other.
But yeah, we're gonna get right into this because we haven't had dinner, so we have to have our dinner. So,
whose fault's that?
if we go over to where do I like to put it? I have it. Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. I like to have us down here.
So our noses are in at the bottom.
Right. Nope. No, they're gone. All right. So this is our monthly wrap up for November. And of course, next month is going to be all holiday, Christmas goodies. So we tried to. October is obviously dedicated to horror. So November is that in between month where anything goes kind of thing, with us at least.
Yeah.
So we tried to get in as much of a variety as we could with the films that we watched. Both our Letterboxd accounts are linked down below. If you would like to follow us over there, you are more than welcome to. So
because we don't watch all the same things.
No, we do not. Let's go to our diary. And we're going to go all the way to the bottom here. All right. So let's click here.
We waited a week.
And
for the record, everybody, he clicked continue without supporting, but he is in fact a patron. So he is supporting.
Yeah. I'm just not signed in. That's why we're getting ends. So we waited until November 7th. So because I think we were plus we had just done 31 days of content for October. I think we were a little burnt out,
just from everything.
Wanted to take a break, work, all that stuff. So we waited until November 7th to watch our very first film.
Literally a week into the month.
Yeah. Which it's funny, when that happens, I'm like, oh my God, we're behind. We're behind. We're not gonna have anything to talk about. And then slowly but surely you begin to pile things back up. So we kick things off with a Criterion title. This is in the Criterion collection. This is The Incredible Shrinking Man.
Look, I forget the cat's name. His real name, because he's
like orangey or something.
It's orangey, yeah. Because wait, this cat is starred in other movies.
He's been in a lot of other movies. Yeah, he has since passed.
I mean, for 1957,
he's no longer with us.
Orangey,
but he was apparently a very famous cat that worked in a
Yeah.
lot of movies.
And apparently he like fucking bit everyone and hated people, but he was a star.
So yeah, I mean, it was a modest kickoff in my opinion. Was this my
That was me.
okay, but I had always definitely wanted to check this one out because I love the cover of the Criterion Collection, him just continuously getting smaller.
I think this is really neat, like, because, you only have so much to work with, and, yeah, you have, like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and stuff like that afterwards, but, you're very limited with your, like, trickery, your camera trickery, so they had to build, like, these big sets
Mhm.
and a lot of, like, illusions, like, to make him appear smaller. It's like you're watching a movie in a funhouse. Like, those illusions, like, where you're into, like, different shaped mirrors or, like, pictures where the further back you stand, like, the smaller you are. Like, it's just really neat. They had to get really creative with imposing him.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just like it's funny what turns him invisible or not invisible. What turns him small is like he's like they're just out on
His little
vacation
boat.
and like in the ocean, and all of a sudden there's just like this little like glitter cloud, like a
Yeah.
glitter cloud, that just slowly but surely comes towards the boat. And I think his wife or fiance, whatever she is, she goes under like inside the boat
To get him a beer.
to get something. So she doesn't get it, and it's like it's goofy like, in a way, like, I appreciate it because this is Twilight Zone-y.
It's very Twilight Zone-y, especially the
Um,
ending.
well, especially because it's written by Richard Matheson.
Oh,
He
there
wrote
you
a
go.
lot of Twilight Zone episodes,
Well,
Duel.
you think it's gonna be like a funny movie, like, with orangey over here, but then you get to the end and it's very existential, and
Very
you're
existential,
like, "Who
yeah.
am I?"
Yeah, that's I mean, according to my review here, which is why I like that I write reviews because I do tend to forget how I feel about certain movies, especially if they're movies that don't really stay with me. This is one of them, but apparently I enjoyed the conclusion.
You said it was boring.
So
You said otherwise fairly boring. Get out of
I
here.
thought it was fairly boring.
I
I
don't think so.
much rather would watch Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, which, yes, is the third film in that franchise, but that's the one I grew up with.
Whatever. I just think this is interesting.
Which that Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves is the directorial debut of Dean Cundey, the very famous cinematographer,
Incredible.
he was the DP on Halloween, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, all that stuff, and that was his directorial debut. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's a neat little film. It's not suitable for children, it says there on the poster. But
Look at that depiction of orangey on the cover.
yeah, that was a cool moment. That was definitely a cool scene, especially now that we have a cat.
Yeah.
It was like cool to see. Like, man, can you imagine if we were that small? Felix would kill us.
No, he'd be like,
He would try to kill us. Well, no, he would do what Felix does, where like if he sees a bug or anything, he doesn't try to kill the bug. He just like he like plays with it, but like doesn't try to hurt it.
He's not a hunter.
So, anyways,
He's a dweeber.
The Incredible Shrinking Man. But
I liked
as
it.
per usual, as we go through the films, if you've seen the films, let us know your thoughts on the films. So
I tried.
that's
Oh,
no good.
I was gonna say, I this month in particular because I am more like headstrong on criterions than you are. I feel like I think I've seen a lot more.
Probably, maybe.
Um, I wanted to expand your knowledge of film like through the decades. Like I kept trying to sprinkle in older films because I feel like you're very much like 1980 forward, and then everything before that's kind of wishy washy.
Like this one, 1985, After Hours. This one was
Yeah, it was.
mine because I remember picking this up during one of the sales.
We were pretty good with alternating this month.
Yeah.
I
So this one is directed by Scorsese. He is. Go ahead.
What?
I just wanted to like upend you. I just wanted to throw a wrench in your routine. He is a amazing director, and he's actually on Letterboxd. You can follow him. It is actually him, which is really cool.
Also, Greg Sestero now has a letterbox.
Everybody's getting one.
As they should.
So wanted to check this one out. I heard it was, one of his more interesting, not talked about films. Obviously, we talk about Casino and Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, Wolf of Wall Street, all those things, but not a lot of people talk about After Hours or my favorite, The King of Comedy, which fingers crossed, Criterion, come on.
Well, this one, like, it was like, God, I see so many people talk about, like, uncut gems, like that being a stressful movie. I've seen so many other movies that are more stressful to me than that, and this is one of them. Like,
Interesting.
because literally, this guy can't do anything right. Like, nothing. Like, I think I'm having a shitty day, and then I see this, and I'm like, damn, no, he wins.
Right.
Like, all my guy wanted to do was get home. That's all I wanted to do. All I wanted to do.
And it definitely took a little bit to get into it for me. I think my least favorite part is actually with who we're looking at right now. That's the part I'm not too fond of, when he meets her in the restaurant or diner.
Yeah, something like that.
They're in a place, and it's what kickstarts the movie. And his interactions with her are the least interesting to me. After that, once that's done and over with, that's where I started getting more and more on board with the film, and ultimately ended up really enjoying this film. It is, in my opinion, very similar to Eyes Wide Shut in certain aspects, but yeah, I this isn't a favorite Scorsese. This is like for me, it's like a mid-tier kind of thing. I would rather watch a lot of his other movies over this, but yeah, it was enjoyable. Much better than The Incredible Shrinking Man.
I don't even. I mean, I can't even rank them on the same playing field.
But which one would you rather watch?
Well, The Incredible Shrinking Man was more fun to me. This one, like, I felt like a punch to the gut.
Yeah.
Like, this one, like, you say enjoyable, but, like, I don't think that's the right word. Like, it's enjoyable because it's not happening to you.
Yeah, 100%. And I've never seen Griffin Dunn outside of American Werewolf,
Yeah.
so that was cool to see him in another performance.
There's a few of those movies in this list where we're seeing actors outside of
Their comfort zone.
their comfort zone, yeah.
Yeah. So that is what we watched on November 11th. So we took another, like, what, 4 days? Good Lord.
We're going.
Then so this one was a rewatch. So we watched this. You just wanted some background noise.
Yeah.
And we ended up just watching the whole movie.
Yeah, we did.
So this is, I mean, I've seen this movie a bunch of times. You've seen it a bunch of times. This is, as I write here, the last truly great Burton film. He's made okay to bad movies since, but this is his last masterpiece, and it's 2007. So
last masterpiece. I do enjoy Frankenweenie though, but like I don't
would
know.
you call that a masterpiece?
That's what I said. I'm saying this is his last masterpiece, but I do enjoy After in 2012 Frankenweenie, but that doesn't entirely count because it is based on his original short from the 80s.
So fingers crossed. He just announced Beetlejuice 2 wrapped filming. So
yeah,
let's fingers crossed. September of next year.
I saw a video of like the BTS of the filming of that, and it's just Tim Burton like walking around, and you see like Michael Keaton. Did you come across that?
Nope, I haven't seen anything on this movie.
I've just seen like they're in a neighborhood just walking around, and it's just so like this is a movie.
Is Michael Keaton in Beetlejuice Get Up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's just,
is that cool to see? Like, were you like,
well, it's so weird because you don't have all the dark, eerie lighting of a Burton film, so you see all these freakos
and for some
walking
reason,
around in a neighborhood.
And for some reason, aren't those like for some reason a lot of those photos are like very blurry and
no,
pixelated?
It was a video.
Oh,
it was a video, and you
good
see
quality?
Yeah. Like somebody's recording it like on their phone or something.
Wow.
And you see like Tim Burton walking with who I assume is like somebody on set, like a technical person, and he's smiling. You're like, what am I like? This is Twilight Zone. Who are you people?
That's cool. Yeah.
Like, seeing him in like a normal suburban setting with no lighting, no atmosphere, no nothing is very eerie to me.
Who's him?
Tim Burton.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. Well, he's very odd looking now.
He's an enigma.
He's always been odd looking, but now as he's getting older, he's becoming more odd looking.
Yeah, he's becoming more of his own character.
More lanky.
Yeah, like how does he do that?
Very like skinny. It's kind of creepy, but
how does he do that?
Sweeney Todd, this might be.
Oh, I know why we got it. Sorry. We put this on because
we wanted background noise.
Well, that and because I had just gotten the DVD with that slipcover, that really cool
Yes.
slipcover.
So, I forgot what I was going to say, but this
True
this
masterpiece.
might no. This might be. I'd have to think about it, but this is a contender for my all-time favorite musical. This is the one that I know a bunch of the songs to. I love the subject matter. I think it's incredibly bold subject matter. It was introduced to me at a very young age when I was in high school. Is when I first came across Sweeney Todd. So it's been following me ever since, and I would love to see this performed on stage. That is one of my like life goals, is to see a version of Sweeney Todd, professional, not like, school theater, professional Broadway style Sweeney Todd production.
Yeah.
Although Johnny Depp's always going to be
Oh, for sure.
like, I'll always have him lingering in the back of my head. Same with Helena, but
I really want to see like it's not the original because that's obviously like whenever this was originally made for plays, but the original filmed version, which is in like I want to say the late 20s, early 30s.
oh my God, yeah, there's so many versions of Sweeney Todd that you can just like fall down a rabbit hole and watch all these different iterations of the story. I would prefer it in a musical form, Stephen Sondheim's version. So it would be weird to watch a non-music like how it was weird to watch the Little Shop of Horrors with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Like that was weird because I'm so used to Little Shop of Horrors pops you up. Yeah, like I'm so used to that. And now all of a sudden here they are not singing.
Well, we're gonna have to watch Hairspray.
That one is a little, yeah, I'll probably feel that way too. Yeah. But that one's okay because I don't know, that's John Waters, you know what I mean? And
Divine.
that is what it is based off of. Whereas Sweeney Todd, there's so many versions of it that it's really like, what is it actually? But you know what I mean? And John Waters helped create the musical kind of thing. So, anyways, Sweeney Todd's amazing. I know there's a bunch of people out there that haven't seen this movie. So please do yourself a favor. And look, it came out at Christmas. This Christmas.
Yeah.
This is, I guess you could say,
movie.
Is it a Christmas movie? I don't know. Watch it in December. It's very odd, but I love this movie so much. So then on that was November 11th. Then on the 15th, this is what we were doing in preparation for our viewing of Thanksgiving in theaters. Our buddy Mikey was visiting us. We have a video on the channel. It's
Check it out.
Actually under the Mikey playlist. He has his own playlist.
Yeah, I noticed that
on our channel now. He's the fan favorite. So if you want to watch that video, go check it out. But so we wanted to do the Grindhouse double feature,
which was weird because I don't know if it was the version you had or something.
So it was, because I looked up. So I bought the Grindhouse Collector's Edition 2-disc set, right? The way it should have been packaged was it has a disc that has, as far as I understand, both of the things, both of the movies and the fake trailers all together on that one disc. Mine wasn't like that. Mine was, because these movies, Planet Terror and Death Proof, have separate Blu-ray releases for people that just want Planet Terror. That's what I had. My copy, brand new, so I don't know what happened, brand new, had a Planet Terror disc and a Death Proof disc. Whereas it should have had one disc and a bonus disc, but that one disc should have had the Grindhouse presentation where it was Planet Terror, fake trailers, Death Proof.
So was it like a botch in your specific?
I think so, yeah, something, because I looked up. I went online and I was like looking at photos of other people's 2-disc collector's edition Grindhouse, and they had different discs.
Where did you get yours?
Best Buy.
What the shit? That's so weird.
It's weird. So, anyways, whatever. I mean, you can find these online.
Yeah.
So,
but what's also weird is that it had just this one that we're looking at right now.
Well, because he directed it. So we watched Planet Terror, directed by Robert Rodriguez, and he directed Machete and the feature-length Machete. So that makes sense to me. He's the only one.
Okay.
Quentin Tarantino didn't direct the fake trailer.
All right.
So, but that was our initial goal, was to watch Grindhouse, because in Grindhouse, there was a fake trailer for a movie called Thanksgiving. So we wanted to do that. And so anyways, we kick things off with Machete, which is a feature-length film, which I do want to check out after watching the fake trailer. It's just so stupid and over the top, and it's Danny Trejo, yeah, just being a nut. Yeah. Funny as hell. You know, like as I write here, Mikey was dying laughing.
Yeah.
So
this whole night was just like we left our brains at home.
Yeah.
Like,
so
you kind of have to.
Maybe in January, I feel like we'll pop in Machete at some point, but
and we have to watch all the fake trailers because we didn't get to.
We didn't get to every single one of them.
We just got to the 2.
So, and then we followed it up with the feature presentation of Planet Terror.
I love this movie. The more I think about it, the more I realize I love this movie.
Why? Talk to me, because I don't like this movie.
I thought, okay, voice crack. So, okay. Robert Rodriguez, the Spy Kids guy, one and the same. It's so, like, because I loved Spy Kids as a child. And because they were so sort of zany and out of left field and the thumb people, you know. And so this felt like that, in a sense, like that same sort of out of pocket zaniness, but with an R rating. And I ate that shit up. And like, I mean, yeah, there's some like questionable scenes in there, but it's 2007. What do you want? And it's also in the style of like 70s exploitation. So what do you want, people? Like, it's this girl gets her leg amputated and it gets replaced with a fucking machine gun.
That she doesn't have to press the trigger at all.
It just does.
Fires at will.
It just does. Yeah. And it's so like, it's not a serious movie.
There's more to it. It's like a whole zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. But I'm saying like, that's like the main thing is her.
Yeah. That's the whole like promotional image and everything. Like, look at that poster.
Like, it really is just that. Like, that's all you really need to know. And yeah, the zombies add to it. The blood and guts and gore add to it. And the fact that it is in the style of 70s exploitation, it has this film grain to it at all times. And I thought that was neat because for some reason I thought like this whole thing was going to have it, like the whole grindhouse. And we'll get to the next movie in a bit, which kind of does it, but not to this extent. Like, it uses the film grain and the fact that like it was filmed on like this old camera to the plot's advantage. Like, there's literally this point where like the film is almost like burnt and it stops and then it picks up somewhere like however long down the line out of nowhere. Makes no sense.
It's during the sex scene and then there's a missing reel.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts to later.
And then it cuts and there's like 20 different people in the scene and they're all running from something. And it's so funny. Yeah. Like, I've never, like, name me another movie that does something like that. I mean, I'm sure there is one, but like, it's using the medium of film toward the plot. Like, that's smart. Like, this movie's so dumb, but it's so smart. Like, I don't know. It's actually funny. It's cheesy in all the right places. And it's the fact that it doesn't take itself seriously, because nothing Robert Rodriguez does is really serious. Like, I ate it up. It was fun.
Yeah, I loved the look of it. Yeah, I got the film grain and everything was a big sell. Michael Bihn's in this movie, which I totally forgot. So that was really cool to see him. Mikey was not a fan of a scene involving Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, but who is a fan of scenes involving Quentin Tarantino?
There's a scene where he has his like genitals and everything melting off as he's about to RAP fill in the rest of it. Some chick, and what is it? Her? Anyways. He's about to do something really bad to a chick, and all of a sudden his like nuts start melting off, and Mikey was just so turned off. I mean, obviously it's supposed to do that to you, but man, he was really revolted by that. But I don't know. Like, this movie is just,
I thought it was so fun.
Like, I just don't like Robert Rodriguez. I've totally just come to that conclusion. Nothing this man does.
Then how are you gonna like Machete?
You know what? I might like Machete because of how stupid it is, and it's got an all-star cast, so maybe that'll win me over. Alita's maybe my favorite, and that's just because, like I say here, it's so connected to James Cameron that it has a lot of vibe of James Cameron. So that might be my favorite Robert Rodriguez film. But yeah, and it's just so weird to me that he goes from Spy Kids and Shark Boy Lava Girl to Planet Terror, and then he does stuff like Once Upon a Time in Mexico, which is part of that trilogy. It's so, and then he does like Sin City.
Yeah, that's also
It's so
that's also a
weird.
movie.
So
But
weird.
I don't know, maybe that's kind of why I'm so drawn to him because I also enjoy Shark Boy and Lava Girl in a weird way. I
Don't get me
mean,
wrong, me too, because I grew up on that stuff, but they are not good movies.
oh, they're not good movies. But like, and I don't know if this is even objectively a good movie. I
I think it's on fresh, right?
I think so.
Both this and Death Proof are fresh.
I like it. Like, I mean, Shark Boy and Lava Girl gave us George Lopez as Mr. Electric. This man Robert Rodriguez could do anything.
And Spy Kids 3D gave us Sylvester Stallone as
Yeah.
the toy creator or something like that. The guy who created the game creator.
And wasn't Salma Hayek like
She's in like a lot of those, yeah.
like she has like
And Antonio Banderas
and Elizabeth Osment or Emily Osment?
yeah,
Like a very baby.
very weird. But anyways, she liked it.
I
did not like it. I think Mikey was somewhere in the middle.
As he tends to be.
So anyways, fingers crossed for Death Proof. Next up, we watched the fake trailer for Thanksgiving. And this is still, even after watching the full length, which we'll talk about, this is my favorite thing Eli Roth has ever done. And it's like 2 minutes. So I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Robert Rodriguez, and I'm not a fan of Eli Roth. I respect them both, and I like listening to. No, I do, because I like to listen to Eli Roth's podcast, the History of Horror. So him as a person, I'm sure he's cool. As a filmmaker, I don't like his stuff, but this is so funny. This thing is so funny. It's just, please, if you don't watch any other fake trailer from Grindhouse, watch the fake trailer for Thanksgiving. It's the voice of the narrator is the best part, but obviously it has what the poster has right there, and that's translated into the film, kind of.
Yeah, we'll get to that if that's next. If
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So just go right into it.
All right. I was expecting more
from this.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's just say this really quickly so we can talk about this. It has officially been greenlit. There is Thanksgiving 2 coming out Thanksgiving 2025.
That's incredible.
Directed by Eli Roth.
Incredible.
It's been greenlit. Official.
Amazing. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, so don't get me wrong. So if you just went to go see this, which I'm sure the majority of the people did, without having that Grindhouse history, you would be like, wow, this is a movie. Because, I mean, Eli Roth is known for doing the most, like, abhorrent gore and, like, blood to the nines. Like, no person should have that much blood in their body, let alone from a paper cut. Like, it's a lot. And it's funny, like, how it's done, because it also doesn't really take itself too seriously. But in, like, the style of the trailer. The trailer, I don't know. I just feel like, why was the dial toned down so much for a theatrical movie in the year of our Lord 2023? Like, it's been, what, 15? Right? No. 16?
What?
Years since the trailer, 2007? How long ago?
2007 to 2023. I couldn't tell
like
you.
16 years. And you would think that, you would use technology to your advantage and stuff, and your budget to your advantage, and, kind of keep up with that shock value, because it's 2 minutes. But man, is it the most shocking 2 minutes you'll ever see. Every single second's a punch to your nuts.
Well, because I don't think the John Carver character is in that trailer.
No, but I'm talking about just certain aspects. Like, there's like a woman roasted like a turkey and presented at the dinner table.
And the most famous thing, which is on both posters, is the trampoline with the cheerleader. Yeah,
and in the original poster, you can see very clearly where that knife is going to hit.
And here, too, it's kind of false advertising, because that never happens.
It never happens.
Right? It never goes in her coochie.
No, it never goes in her coochie. It literally, like, it hits her in the foot.
It hits her, like, in her, what's that called? The Achilles tendon?
No, I thought it went in her heel.
I swear it went near her Achilles
No,
tendon.
because she like went flat down when she was jumping.
Maybe as
But-
like, anyways.
Which is like, okay, and it's like stuff like that. It's like you're comparing, apples to apples. Like, it's like the same thing. What's the big deal? The big deal is when I watched that 2-minute trailer, I went, ah. And then when I watched the movie, I was like, oh. Like, it's two sides of the same coin, but it's to how do you want to shock your audience? Why are you toning it down a little bit? And don't get me wrong, there's some things that are like shocking here, but I expected more from Eli Roth, the guy who literally had like some girl's eyeball melting out of her brain with acid, the slicing of the Achilles tendon, and then trying to run with it, and the Green Inferno being the Green Inferno. So basically, I was expecting more out of Eli Roth, given, like, had I not seen the trailer, I'd seen his other movies, and I was expecting more. Oh, and Cabin Fever. Yeah. Literally just skin melting in a shower.
Yeah. I yeah, like there is only a one truly terrifying part of this movie, and that's not even associated to the John Carver character or Thanksgiving. It's associated with Black Friday,
We were a society.
which that's the best part of the movie. And actually,
yeah.
one of the reasons why we watched a movie called Black Friday is because I was like, ooh, I want some more Black Friday horror. I love that idea. So, but that was great. Very funny, well executed, horrifying. And then it gets into the Thanksgiving John Carver guy. And yeah,
I didn't really I like the horror aspects of it. Like you said, the opening was great because it's sort of like a black comedy in a way because it's not taking itself too seriously and it's emphasizing the like ridiculousness that we used to be during that time. But then you get into like the actual plot of the movie and it's like there's a love triangle going on and a family scandal going on, and it's like I don't care that much about this movie where the killer is like a pilgrim.
yeah,
Like,
no.
I just want to see people get hacked and served for dinner. I don't know.
I guess at some point down the road, way, way, way down the road, the John Carver character will be an icon. But
I'm sure.
I mean, right now, and the fact that there's already a sequel greenlit is like, and I just don't feel anything. Like, I'm not like, yeah, come on, bring on more Thanksgiving. I'm just,
I mean, I'll give it this. Like, I did like it on Letterboxd, maybe because my standards were so low for a Thanksgiving themed movie that I could have sufficed with anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's getting good reviews. Oh, it's better than, it's the fact that we're actually getting a good Thanksgiving movie, I guess.
Right. And I did enjoy it. Don't want anyone to be like, oh, wow. But it's just, I don't know. Nah. Like, I don't like the Green Inferno at all, but that movie is memorable.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't really feel memorable to me.
It's just the beginning.
Just the beginning is really good.
They're all like, they just want their waffle iron.
Yeah.
They all just want their waffle iron.
We'll do one more movie, then we'll head on over to the chat room, see what you guys are saying. Because after that, on what was it, November 17th, we watched Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof. So I'll take the reins on this one because you're team Planet Terror. I am team Death Proof. This is my favorite of the two Grindhouse features. This is this is Quentin Tarantino just doing his best like throwback stuntman movie, like in the vein of what's his name, Steve McQueen, stuff like that, like where those like high speed chases, like all that stuff. But it's his way of doing it because Tarantino loves dialogue, and there is just so much dialogue in this movie that it's either going to make it or break it for you. You're either going to go, what the fuck, bro? Can we just come on? Or you're going to be like me and you're going to be like, yes, give me more, give me more. Because I love how he writes his stuff. I do believe Quentin was quoted as saying that this is like, if he has to have a bad movie, this is it. In his filmography, if he has to have a bad movie, he picks Death Proof. I don't think it's bad. I think it's amazing. I think the stuff that we want to see, right? Like those moments we want to see with Stuntman Mike, when that happens, man, like the main car crash in this movie is just embedded in my head for the rest of my life. Like, and I think that is just leaps and bounds over anything like Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Where it's just, sure, you might not like the movie, but you can't argue that at least you'll never forget that head-on collision with the three, or was it four girls,
Those
three
four.
girls, and Stuntman Mike. That is just amazing. But the whole movie is great. Like the whole movie is great. There's a one take shot with these four girls sitting around like a diner table, very Reservoir Dogs esque, and they're just talking to each other. And it's one take, and the camera just keeps moving around them. And Stuntman Mike is in the back. You didn't notice, but he's just like at the like counter, just like kind of looking back at them from time to time. It's amazing. I love Rosario Dawson. I forget her name, but she's in a lot of movies like 10 Cloverfield Lane. The Australian chick is amazing, right? She has like a Australian accent. She's great.
New Zealand.
Oh, whatever she is. I don't know. It's great. This chick right here with the what are those, dreads, or like what is that?
The curls.
Like curls in her hair, whatever those are. Everybody is so perfectly cast in this movie. Especially Kurt Russell. This might be my favorite Kurt Russell performance. I just love him as Stuntman Mike, and I love saying that, Stuntman Mike.
Stuntman Mike. That's like his legal name. Like you look at his birth certificate, and he says Stuntman Mike.
Yeah.
Like comma Stuntman.
Yeah. Hold on. Why did I think those were dreads? I don't know why I thought those were dreads. Yeah, just curly hair. But anyways, yeah. I don't know. My favorite Quentin Tarantino film is Django, but this might be my second favorite. Of the three I've seen, I've only seen 3 of his movies. So
yeah, I don't know. Like I really thought I was gonna enjoy this one a lot. Like it had me, and then after that car crash scene, and we picked. So it started off with a set of 4 girls, okay, and then that scene happens. I wouldn't say it's a spoiler because we're talking about it. Kills them all, and then it picks up with this second set of 4 girls, and I just didn't care after that. Like, I don't know, maybe like their chemistry just wasn't clicking with me like that other group. Like, because the first group of girls had like, she was like a radio show host, and I think another one was like a model, and
Jungle Julia, I think is her name.
yeah, it was like this, like, I don't know, a group of like really, how would I describe it? Like objectively hot women. Like just that was their personality, being objectively hot.
Sure.
And
you don't think these girls are?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like their personality was just be tall, skinny, and pretty.
Although I must say, Rosario Dawson's haircut.
Yeah. Oh my God. Get rid of the bangs.
She's
get rid of the bangs.
Usually very good looking in movies.
Get rid of the bangs.
I don't know what was going on there.
Rid of the bangs. And yeah, so you had those set of girls, and they were just doing their thing. The car, like I was like on board. I was like, wow, this is good. This is great. And because it was almost like their slasher bait. That's what I want to call them, slasher bait. Because they had no personality other than being pretty.
Yeah, and you might have thought, oh, they're like final girls.
That's what I thought.
And they're not.
That's what I thought. And that happened. And then I was like, we're done with the movie. Because then that happens, and like my adrenaline's like, yeah, let's fucking go. And then we're just chilling back with this set of characters. I'm like, wait a minute. I just spent the whole first half of the movie caring about them.
Right. Yeah.
Now I have to
find
a reason to care again.
It takes some risks for sure, especially and it also ties into Planet Terror. That's the only thing I would cut. There's a scene in a hospital which ties into Planet Terror that I would have just taken right out. But I understand why they did that, because it is a double feature. So
yeah. But with that first set of girls, like it kind of throws you a red herring, because I thought, like how you said about them being final girls, because he kidnaps one of them. And then because he has like Stuntman Mike has all of these pictures of the girls, like thinking like that they're gonna be his or something.
The one that he kidnaps is the main girl from Planet Terror.
Yeah.
With the shotgun leg.
Yeah. And so that happens, and it has me thinking this is gonna be like some sort of like abduction, kidnapping, slasher thing. And then after that second, like when the second act hits, he throws all the pictures away. And it's like he has a whole new motive too. So it feels like a whole different movie in that second half. And I was like, you lost me. And then I don't know. Like maybe I would feel differently if that wasn't the case. Like if the whole movie was this second act, just extended, maybe I'd feel differently.
It
But
was
it's
just too jarring for you.
too jarring.
Yeah, too
And
jarring.
so it lost me. Like, so that's whole second half. Like, I didn't.
But you got to admit, without giving it away, the ending won you back. You'll never forget that ending.
Yeah, girls being girls.
You'll never forget.
Just girly things.
And Kurt Russell.
Yeah, just girly things. It was just girly things.
So I thought, yeah, this is, and I've also been on record with you saying that if I had like a big man cave, I would love this poster.
Oh, yeah.
On my wall. I just love the look of this poster.
I like the look of Planet Terror and Death Proof side by side.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it is good looking.
Because they both have that same color of red.
All right, we'll take a break right there because we're gonna get into some really jarring films after that. So let us head on over to the chat room, see what y'all are talking about over here as we pull up everybody. All right, here we go. Here we go. At the very top here, we got Movie Collector.
Hello.
Hello, Movie Collector. And then we got Adrian. Hello, hello.
Oh, hello.
Nadia.
Fellers.
What's going on, Nadia?
What do you do?
Cat.
Hello, wow, Cat. She's here. I wonder if she's still here.
Judd's here. Hello, Judd.
Hi.
Vinicio.
Oh,
good to see you, man. Matt Walls, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga trailer just came out. I hope it's good.
I'd like to watch those movies.
What's going on, Matt? Rock Music says, got my list for Christmas horror movies.
Yeah. Lay some down. We need some more.
Yeah, we're going to watch a lot of those. All right, here we go. Matt says, The Incredible Shrinking Man was entertaining. I need to rewatch it. In a minute.
Yeah.
Good movie. I only saw 13 minutes. Oh, wait. Minutes. I only saw 13 movies this month. October burnt me out with all the horror movies. That's what we've been talking about, like, throughout some streams, that I don't understand people that do a movie a day. Like,
Tony.
I would, and there's a bunch of people, but like, I would get so burnt out of just something I love, movies. I can't do a movie a day. I can't, unless I have nothing else in my life going on. Yeah. Like, that's the only thing. You know what I mean?
I will say, though, because where last month I didn't watch, I don't think I watched anything by myself, maybe one. But for some reason this month, I found myself picking up. Like, I'm pretty sure I watched like 5 or 6 things on my own, maybe 7.
Cool.
So I go in ebbs and flows if I watch movies like on my own time or not. Ebbs and flows.
Kevin, what's up, dude? Hello. What's your favorite Xmas horror film? You might be talking to Nadia. Like, I saw you were talking to Nadia there, but we'll hijack this question and we'll answer it here. Currently, my favorite Christmas-based horror film is going to be Better Watch Out.
Better watch out. Better watch out.
Because I haven't seen too many Christmas-based horror films.
Yeah, wait, I'm like trying to think.
We're planning on watching a few in October, in December. So.
Squint. Yeah, wait a minute. What
just say Better Watch Out.
Yeah. Can I say Nightmare Before Christmas? Does that count? It's not a horror, nor is it much Christmas, but it is in the title.
Speaking of Criterion, did you get any Criterions, Eddie and Haley?
I didn't.
I feel like I did. Hold on. I'm trying to brain blast here. I picked up a couple. I picked up Defending Your Life from Albert Brooks because that was missing in my collection.
Oh, I thought you had that.
No, I picked up Defending Your Life.
Or did you have it on Blu or like a DVD or something? Oh.
No, it kind of went light on the Criterion pickups this month. We watched Criterion movies, but we streamed those. I don't think I picked up very many.
I can't say anything because you always have a lot in your hand, and then at the very last minute before we leave the store, you put them down.
This is true. So we'll go into Barnes & Noble. I'll hold a lot of these Criterions. I'll want to literally pull a Criterion closet and just stuff them in a bag. And then I put them back on the shelf. And I'd be like, yeah, next time.
Yeah, so I can't say whether, because so I'll think that he got some of these movies, and then I'm like, did he put them back?
Because look, as great of a deal as 50% off of $40 is, taking it down to $20, it's still $20. And a lot of Blu-rays you can buy for under $10. So you know what I mean? And a lot of Criterions are on standard Blu-ray with maybe less features, maybe a little bit of a crappier picture, whatever, but they're cheaper. Like Mean Streets is way cheaper on a regular Blu-ray. So you know what I mean? Like, I want to see Mean Streets, but yes, I love Criterion. I love the look and the aesthetic kind of continuity.
All the spines.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But man, $20 a piece is still a lot. And then if a lot of people get the 4Ks, which are 25 a piece. So I go very, very minimal with my pickups of Criterion. So I picked up Defending Your Life. Next sale, I do want to pick up a couple that we're going to talk about later in the stream.
I really want Haxon. Because that's like the only way you can get it physical. Like that's one that like I'm pretty sure doesn't even have a Blu-ray.
Right.
It's Haxon.
Can't go wrong with Silent Night, Deadly Night. We're going to watch that this coming month. And we're going to watch Gremlins. Yep. That was something you said too. So
Terrifier 3.
Terrifier 3 looks awesome though. Yeah, that'll be next year, right? Because we were talking, what happens when you watch every Christmas movie?
Because it's not like they come out as frequently as, say, just a plain old horror movie.
Film, yeah.
So it's like once you get through all 20 of the Silent Night, Deadly Nights, then what do you do?
Right. So at some point, it's going to happen. But yeah, Terrifier 3 next year looks great.
We're going to be scraping the bottom of the Hallmark barrel at some point.
Laren, it's all good, man. Good evening. Glad to have you here. Late or not, better late than never. Let's see here. Yes, Silent Night, Deadly Night's my favorite. I cannot wait to see that. Also have the remake with Malcolm McDowell we're going to be watching. So that's going to be a lot of fun. What do we got here? Terrifier 3 going to be a blast. Yep.
Everybody saying, hey.
I thought I was like an hour late for a minute. No, dude, you're good. You just got out of Thanksgiving.
Well, you just missed us talking about it.
Interesting. Interesting. That's interesting. See, I would have been like, it would be weird to me to watch it after Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Like we watched it in the lead up to Thanksgiving.
Well, at least it's in November. If you saw it December 1st, I would have raised an eyebrow.
Who's ready for Beetlejuice 2?
And
then Laren says Beetlejuice 2 should not exist.
Yeah, that's kind of the boat I'm in.
But look, I would be, and I'm not even a big Beetlejuice fan. I would be more upset if it wasn't Tim Burton coming back, Keaton, Ryder, Catherine O'Hara. Like they got the whole. I'm pretty sure Danny Elfman is on board as like scoring. Didn't he score the original Danny Elfman?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the creative team from that first movie is coming back for the sequel. So that should at least appeal hardcore fans. It would be another totally different thing. Can you imagine how you would feel if Beetlejuice 2 coming next year, directed by Michael Bay?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, wait a minute. I was like trying to dig in my brain. Has Tim Burton ever done a sequel? Then yes, he did Batman Returns.
Yeah.
But
he's done sequels.
But he's not like big on sequels. So part of me feels like it's like because we're in the sequel era that it's like, all right. And it's like, okay, I've been waiting how long? Like, what was the last one? Peregrines or Dumbo? Like,
Dumbo. It was his last movie.
Like, okay, Dumbo was his last movie, and I waited this long for Beetlejuice 2. At least give me something original. Like, I don't know.
But watch, you're gonna love Beetlejuice 2. Watch.
I just don't care about Jenna Ortega. I mean, she has to get that bag somehow because she's not going to be in Scream 7. So,
right.
Get that money, I guess.
Actually, I just want to fact check that.
Danny Elfman?
No, that his last movie was Dumbo.
I think it was Dumbo.
1 second. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Yes, Dumbo. And then Beetlejuice, I just want to make sure it is Danny Elfman. I feel like it is. Yeah. Okay. Music by Danny Elfman.
It's been 5 years since his last movie, and that was a remake. So we haven't had an original idea for him since 2016.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, I still appreciate Tim Burton, but I feel like he's fallen off since Sweeney Todd.
Well, he's also like 99 years old. So.
Wow. You haven't seen Sweeney Todd. You have to, Matt. Don't let the fact that it's a
tomato.
Don't let the fact that it's a musical sway you. Don't let the fact that it's a musical. Sweeney Todd is a great musical, and I don't even like music. See?
How do people not like musicals?
There you go. What else? Hey, what's going on? Hall and Oates. Yeah, it's a shame that restraining order.
Yeah, wait a minute.
That's going on with Hall and Oates.
That's
so. Yeah. It's like I was looking at comments and people were like, "Oh, this is like crushing me." It's like, come on, guys, life is so short. You know.
Hall and Oates.
That's like it is a shame. Um,
What's the 411?
yeah. Laren? What is the 411 on the vanilla nog? We gotta know. We gotta know. On my way to Kroger to look for some now, says Laren.
That's
Alrighty.
awesome. Oh, you got a Kroger by you there? That's
All right,
crazy.
here we go. Spy Kids is a greatest of all time tier kids movie. Even Spy Kids 2 has one of the best lines ever said in a movie, which says, apparently,
Yeah.
do you think God lives in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created here on earth?
Yeah, that is a Spy Kids 2 quote.
Hold on. Do you think God lives in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created here on earth? Okay. That's a little bizarre for a Spy Kids movie.
Line. No, actually, Spy Kids 2, like, for some reason, that one, like, doesn't exist in my brain. Like, I cannot tell you the plot of Spy Kids 2. Spy Kids 1 and 3.
Yeah.
That's it.
3 is the best, in my opinion.
3, like, game over. Like, the fact that it all takes place in a video game.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, come on. That's peak movie.
You don't like Sin City, huh? Well, I haven't seen Sin City
I
yet.
think it's okay.
I have not seen Sin City, so
that also. Well, maybe Robert Rodriguez just likes making movies that feel like they're in video games.
I don't know, man.
Because that's what Sin City feels like to me.
Spy Kids 3 was Avengers movie before Marvel did Avengers.
Literally. They brought Grandpa back.
We have seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. We watched it last year.
Yeah.
It was funny, for sure. Best part is Steve Martin just F this, F that for his car. Yeah. I want my fucking car right fucking now.
And maybe we feel it more because we travel relatively frequently.
But I'm not like how people like cream over this movie. I'm not in that.
Not in the cream car.
Yeah, I'm not like it. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Sure.
There's
Gavin.
The title certainly does not lie. There are planes and trains and automobiles in that movie.
Gavin, hello.
Oh,
Laren has found some.
Incredible.
Good. Death Proof does rule. Death Proof does rule. Hey, Gavin, I love Death Proof as well. It's not bad, but in his filmography, it might be his worst for me. It's also maybe the most strange, like in his filmography. Maybe it's
horror-y.
But it's also maybe because it is associated with this. You know, like it's either that or how he considers Kill Bill 1 and 2 one movie.
Yeah,
but they are 2 separately released movies. Like that's also very jarring to me. But yeah, maybe Death Proof is the most just like what that's in your filmography kind of thing. But it is technically one of his 10, as he says he's going to direct 10 and only 10 films. So
and then he's going to die.
Oh, what's up, James?
Oh.
Death Proof is one of Tarantino's films I have not seen yet. Need to check it out. My favorite Tarantino is Kill Bill 1 and 2. I mean, we were just talking about that. But yeah, please check out Death Proof. It's it might be very underrated because apparently people think it's weird in the filmography. I agree.
Also Kurt Russell being Kurt Russell.
But very menacing in some respects.
A little bit.
Yeah, very, very menacing. And then we got the 1969 Chevy Nova happens to be my favorite muscle car.
Yeah, that'd be cool to have like the skull and crossbones on your
right.
on Lucille.
Right. And then I realized I only put 3 horror movies: Silent Night, Deadly Night, Black Christmas, and The Brood.
Why would you respectfully? Why?
What, The Brood?
Yeah. What is that even? Huh? Am I missing? Are we talking about the same one? Yeah. Did I miss something Christmassy about that?
I don't know. But yeah, we're going to be watching Silent Night, Deadly Night in December. So looking forward to that. Black Christmas we watched last year. Wasn't big on Black Christmas.
Please answer me. Why The Brood? I'm so confused. I'm so curious.
Nadia's finally found someone who thinks the Criterion sale is still expensive. $20 is $20 plus tax. So yeah, I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I don't know a single person other than Die Hard. You need it. You need it the moment it's released that picks up a Criterion at full price. I don't know a single person. Why? So then that begs the question, Criterion, why don't you just always release your movies at $20? Because they must see a big like a big jump in sales in July and November. They have to. And then it does this. So why not just always keep it at 20?
Always keep it at 20, and then when it's half off, it'll be 10, which is better than 20.
There you go, man.
And I would be buying more.
I'm telling you. Because look, let's be real. How much do these things cost to make? $1, $2? Come on. So that's all I'm saying. I don't know a single person that picks up a $40 Blu-ray day one. So the Hateful Eight, it has a winter setting. That's Tarantino's The Thing. I have not seen the Hateful Eight. So the movies I've seen of Tarantino's are Reservoir Dogs, Death Proof, and Django Unchained. That's all I've seen. What are you looking for?
I feel like I hear a crab. Like I hear the scuttling of a
You
crab.
probably hear Felix.
Oh. I swear it sounds like it's coming from like around here.
I mean, you might. So anyways,
Ew.
huh?
Ew. If there's
So anyways,
a crab in here.
those are the only 3 I've seen. So got a lot to catch up on, but yeah, the Hateful Eight seems like it'll be maybe one I'll really enjoy.
I know I'll like Kill Bill.
Oh yeah.
Rock music. Come on.
Yeah, it's set in December. That's why.
It's also just not a good movie. That's just me hating on Cronenberg, though.
$100 for it. Yeah. Oh, Matt, have you checked out Dave McRae's "It's Me, Billy"? It's a unofficial sequel to Black Christmas. It's great. And then we got, of course, Mikey. We were just talking about you, dude. We were literally just talking about you. Don't know if you know this or not, but you have a playlist here on the channel. That is correct, man. You heard me. You heard me here. You have a playlist on this channel because you're the fan favorite of all our guests. So Spy Kids 3 was really hype. I can't tell if this is real or a foggy dream, but I remember there being a special feature on that movie where you could make decisions and play through the games.
I know that it was 3D. That's all I know. And it came with the stupid 3D glasses like Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Right. I don't know if that was true or not. Like if you can make decisions and play through the game. Seems like it would be something that you could do.
Sick.
Yeah, seems like it'd be something you could do. The Brood is one of my favorites, says Rock Music.
Choice. Odd choice. Respectfully, odd.
Oh, and Mikey, get Letterboxd. I'm gonna stay on you till you get a Letterboxd. So
if Greg Sestero can get one, so can you.
Yeah. Well, I sent him that. I sent him a screenshot and I said, if you need more motivation to get Letterboxd, Greg just joined. So was it a movie or a book to the Black Christmas question?
YouTube short.
It's Me, Billy. It's well, we had Dave on for an evening with. If you go to our playlist for an evening with, you'll see an evening with Dave McRae. It's on YouTube for free. It's on his YouTube channel. So just type in "It's Me, Billy," Dave McRae, and it should pop up. So I see a $70 Blu-ray. No, thank you. Yeah. No, thank you. My own playlist. I'm honored. Love you both. It says live you both, but I understand what you said there. Yeah, dude. I was going back through. I was like, how many videos has Mikey been a part of? Like, he's been in a lot of our videos. And you don't make content. Like, it's one thing to be a content creator and be in a lot. It's like another, you don't even do YouTube, and yet you're somehow still in a lot of our videos. So I was like, you need your own playlist. Yeah, it's just called Mikey. All right, so we're gonna move on. Keep that chat room going. We'll come right back to it once we move on to our next films, which we are talking about John Waters, baby.
Oh,
polyester.
Again, we watched a lot of fun movies this month.
Yeah,
this was fun.
Yeah. So we both enjoyed this one.
Oh yeah,
we are big fans of John Waters.
Yeah, I said to you before, like, don't get me wrong, love this movie, but I prefer John Waters when his budget looks like it was made up of money found while walking down the street.
Right. Yeah, you're not looking forward to his necessarily bigger budgeted films.
Right. Like he literally just like picked up a few dollars while walking on the sidewalk and was like, all right, I'll use this to make a movie.
This might be the one that is the most in between, because this is considered his first studio movie, I think, like the one where he had an actual budget and he didn't film it himself. He had like a DP this time, but it still has Divine. It still has that, you know,
filth.
It does. And it comes with, so this is one of the reasons why you should pick up this Criterion. Now, I didn't pick this up this sale. I've had this since I think last November's sale. This edition of Polyester I did pick up. And it comes with an odorama card, which is the gimmick of this whole movie. Because throughout the movie, a number pops up and you scratch the odorama card and you get to smell what they are smelling in the movie. And that is all tied into Divine's character, who has a very keen scent of smell.
Yeah. And so she's like Fee, like just
She's always smelling.
Fee
Yeah.
when I'm cooking.
And apparently, according to John Waters, he did the odorama card because he wanted to make a movie that really stunk.
Well, to be fair, so I think this goes because of like maybe because of how long you had it. Like even a year is still pretty lengthy. So like not all of the scents I think worked entirely.
Right.
A
A lot of them just smelled the same, like crap.
Well,
Various forms of shit.
But there was one on there where like I actually like thought I was gonna throw up.
Yeah. The only good one is the first one. It's like a bouquet of roses.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my foot.
Oh.
That's my foot.
Oh. I was like, I'm really hearing something back here. Yeah, there was one that just like they were pretty bad, but one just like hit me like in my stomach.
Right.
Like I literally thought I was gonna throw up
Yeah.
on the floor. And I don't do that. Like I was like bending over, I was like sick as a dog.
I do find it unfortunate though that they didn't include more than one odorama card, because I can't imagine that thing's gonna last for a long time. Now, and like let's say Mikey comes up to visit, right? Let's say a couple years from now, he comes up to visit. We go to visit him, whatever. I show it to somebody that's never seen Polyester. I want them to experience it to the fullest extent possible. Now my odorama card's dead.
Yeah. I wonder like
can you buy more of these things?
that's what I'm saying.
James, are you still in the chat room? Do you know, can you buy refills of the odorama card?
The Criterion should have that. Like, or if you need another barf bag for Pink Flamingos, you should be able to buy another barf bag.
Yeah. Because I thought that was really cool that they did that, but it just comes with one. So anyways, great movie. This is my favorite John Waters movie overall. What? This is overall as a whole, the one I would rather watch over Pink Flamingos and Female Trouble.
Oh, mine's Female Trouble.
But Female Trouble is great. I mean, they're all great in their own right.
Yeah.
But Pink Flamingos is barely a movie. I don't know why that's in the Criterion collection. That is just bizarre to me. I'm very scared for Multiple Maniacs, but I'm also excited. That's how I feel about John Waters. I'm scared and excited. Yeah. And then Female Trouble is funny, very funny, and then it has that great song. But Polyester, like I said, I do enjoy more traditional looking, feeling movies. Now you can be as whatever with the subject matter, but I do enjoy, my preference, a more kind of stylized and
like you don't like that the other ones just feel like they were recorded like on a home video camera.
Right. Like
amateur. You don't like amateur.
I can appreciate that because that's, I mean, admirable that he even did it, right? That he filmed those movies himself. But I really do enjoy, like, one of the shots in this movie is gorgeous. From my memory, it's like a wide shot, and then it comes into Divine's house. Like it like cranes in to Divine's house, to her front door. Just a shot like that is like, you would never see that in Female Trouble, right? So it's just like those little touches. It's more streamlined. That's what I wanted to say. That's what I like about it. And so I am very excited for Hairspray, Pecker, Cecil B. Demented, A Dirty Shame, all those things.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I loved it, but Female Trouble, I mean, it has the who's ready to die for art? Who wants to die for art?
It's amazing.
And then Taffy, how many times have I told you? No playing car crash in the house.
Right. It's great. It's great.
The cha-cha heels.
Can't recommend John Waters enough. Pink Flamingos is... it's so bizarre that we started with that.
Yeah, we start off on a high note.
It's amazing we kept going, because that can really, like, that is a very, it is a very hard movie to get through, I think, Pink Flamingos, because it's so just, what is happening?
Like, you feel your brain melting in your skull.
Like, what is going on?
Like, I'm actively losing all cognitive function while watching this movie.
But see, I didn't feel that with Polyester. I felt like, okay, I'm watching an actual story now. And
Oh, Mr. Eggman.
and he had Mrs. Eggman in there. Yeah, it's great.
Mr.
But as I wrote here, no matter what, I'm a John Waters fan.
Well, I love John Waters because like any big director, they have their favorites, their mainstays. So it's like whenever we see another John Waters movie, it's like, there's Mrs. Eggman. Like,
Right.
so
yeah.
it feels very like Avengers-y.
I agree. It will be very sad and very jarring when we watch like a movie that doesn't have Divine.
Yeah, and
you know,
yeah,
and knowing that he probably passed away, right? Because he died.
yeah, like in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then like while watching this, I was like, that's Crackers.
Yep, Crackers, and it's great.
Why was he named Cracker?
Yep.
That's just so funny to me.
But definitely recommend Polyester. Then we watched a movie a lot of people would not like to mention is technically a Criterion title.
Yeah.
It is. It's definitely in the Criterion collection, and this is Michael Bay's Armageddon.
Yeah, I hadn't seen this one. This was a rewatch for you.
This is a rewatch for me. This is 100% upon rewatch where it's just like, man, very few movies give me as many goosebumps on a consistent basis as this movie does.
How did you initially feel about this though? Like when I brought up the idea, well, I guess you did, but I've been saying I wanted to watch it. This was technically your pick. So you gave me a few to choose from, right?
And you were like, well, because you asked like, what other Criterion would I have chosen? Because I didn't have this in the pile initially, and then I brought it out.
Right.
Yeah, I can rewatch this movie. So fun fact, so we watched the DVD edition, which I'm going to upgrade to the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It's okay. Calm down, folks. And this also had the same issue with the Abyss. I've been saying how for some reason, I don't know why, but when I watched the Abyss on DVD, the aspect ratio is like a rectangular box. And no matter what option you do on your television, you can't get it to look right.
I thought you were going to talk about the double layering thing.
We'll talk about that too. But the Abyss has that on that DVD where it's like the whole movie takes place in like a rectangular box, and it's just black on the top and on the sides.
Wait, the normal aspect ratio is like 16:9, right?
Yeah. And this happened too on Armageddon. The movie started playing and I was like, what is going, like, why? So I tried to find the best of the options you can change your television to fit the screen. Anyways, that annoyed me. So I'm definitely getting the Blu-ray, but also the dual layer that DVDs have, right? So in case anyone doesn't know, on a DVD with a really big movie, there's a dual layer. So when the laser is done with that first layer on the disc, it has to transition to the next layer, like how a record would go to the next track or whatever. And usually there's like a pause. Most of the time, like a PS4 or something can like hide that. This time, when the dual layer transition happened, it was very noticeable.
Yeah, sorry.
No. And when the movie started, you didn't notice this. And I'm totally fine with it because this is my issue with this movie. Once they get into space, there's too much of like redundancy when they're in space. There's too much. We're here, explosion. We're here, explosion. We're here. Oh no, more explosions. That transition took 15 minutes off the film. You missed like 15 because there's I love how you like, but this just goes to show the chaos of this movie. There was a whole character from the Russian space station that was introduced, like the Russian guy. Yeah. And you never said a word of like, where'd he come from? You just assumed he was always like there. No, there's a whole because they have to go to because the skip happened. They get shot up into space, right? They're going into space. Things are shaking, and then that's where the skip happened, like the transition. And then we got to the part where they're like shooting around the moon, which if you should have remembered, Billy Bob Thornton kind of laid it out. He was like, first you dock at the space station, then you leave the space station, and then you go slingshot around the moon. But yeah. Anyways, but that whole space station part is my least favorite part because it's literally almost copied and pasted onto the next scene where they're on the asteroid. Yeah. So you missed like 15 minutes of just endless amounts of explosions and shit. And a character that was introduced that you weren't even batting an eye. You were just like, oh, yep, there he is.
Yeah, I really just like he's been here the whole time.
But that just goes to show you that the chaos of a Michael Bay movie, it doesn't matter. Like you're not there for the characters. You're there for the goosebump inducing. What do we do next?
There's just a whole Russian guy there that just spawned in. And I was
Yeah,
okay
remember
with
he's
it.
the guy at the end. He's like, I want to go home. I want to get out of here.
And then he was the one who like lifted the truck like across the
Yeah.
jump, and he's
And
here
he
the
came
whole
out,
time.
and he came out of nowhere. Anyways,
I didn't even say anything.
anyways, Armageddon is amazing. I love this movie. I always remembered this movie made me more emotional than it did this last time because we'll spoil this movie. This movie's very old. But I love how we don't spoil other. Anyways, Bruce Willis dies at the end, and I had always like really gotten emotional at that scene, and
I
for
got
some
teary-eyed.
reason, it didn't get me emotional this time.
I shed a few tears.
And I don't know why. Like I don't know why.
It's so funny because like before I met you, I never cried at movies.
Mm.
Even ones that aren't like relationship driven, like movies just in general. Like ever since I met you, just make me more emotional. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I feel more attached to them because I'm experiencing them with you. I don't know.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the whole idea of him, because they draw straws, and then Ben Affleck is the one chosen, and then he sacrifices himself. That is actually the sadder part to me. It's not him saying goodbye to his daughter, because remember at the beginning, like they have a really rocky relationship. So do Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis. But like, there's like, she's like, oh, like you're not like a good father or anything. So it's like at the end, them crying at each other is not as affecting to me anymore. It used to be, as is the moment where he sacrifices himself and tells Ben Affleck, you were always like a son to me. And then like, they're like, I love you. Like, that's sad to me. Like when dudes can put aside their, and be like, I love you. Like, that's like that, like got me a little teary eyed.
I love you, brother.
And actually what got me teary eyed is when they're gearing up for the mission, and there's like montages of the guys going to certain places, like Steve Buscemi is like the man whore of the whole group. So he goes to a strip club.
He tends to be.
But then there's that other guy who reminds me of my best friend's dad in real life, Boyd. This guy reminds me of his dad, who has been gone for quite some time, but I knew him. He looks like him in a way. But anyways, he goes to his, I guess, ex-wife's house.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's like, you're not supposed to be here. And then like the son comes out and is like, who's that? And I was like, oh my God, like this is sad.
That's sad.
And then he's like, I just want him to know, like, I'm doing something big. And it's like, how can that not give you goosebumps?
Yeah.
Like, there is an asteroid coming to Earth that will kill everybody. And this group of men are going to attempt to stop that. And hearing that line of dialogue, I got something big coming up. Like,
they don't even know.
Right? Like, it's just, that's goosebumps. That's goosebumps.
No, what gave me goosebumps was because like, obviously, something was going to go wrong. Like, there was no way this was going to be, well, part of me did think it was going to go smoothly just because Hollywood movie. And I figure, we weren't really taking risks. I wasn't expecting a big risk, like in, movie endings. So the fact that like something goes wrong and then they all start freaking out and they're like, it's like game over, man.
Yeah, because they like get past the.
No. It was like when they lose connection to like.
To self-detonate it or something. Like they can't detonate it anymore from Earth.
Or like something.
Something happens where
like
they
you
lose
even
turned to me. You were like, wow. I didn't think this was gonna happen.
Yeah, like they played it so that like they couldn't. Like it was like game over. Like there was no way to destroy it. Like they lost all communication to everybody. They thought everybody was dead. And yeah, the killing of the one ship, I was like, oh. And then like the people at like NASA were basically like, all right, guys, bye. Yeah. We're gonna go home now. Mm-hmm. At that, I forget like what's ever said around that point, but it had me thinking that this movie was gonna end like Don't Look Up.
Yeah. But this was your first Michael Bay movie. You'd never seen a Michael Bay movie. And I think I think a lot of people would say this is either this, and I haven't seen the next one, but The Rock with Nicolas Cage is like.
It's funny because this is like a 40-something on Rotten Tomatoes by critics.
Michael Bay is never critically acclaimed, but
it's like
a lot of people would say you watched a really good one. Now, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Pearl Harbor.
I know you are.
That's my favorite Michael Bay movie. And I'm curious when we do watch it, because we will watch it maybe next year around the anniversary, of Pearl Harbor. Maybe we'll watch it then.
Oh, what a Christmas
I'm
movie.
curious how you're going to react to Pearl Harbor.
3
hour-long war epic in the vein of Titanic.
Yeah.
With Ben Affleck.
Yeah. So about that one.
There's no Bruce Willis in this one.
Yeah. And no Nick Cage.
But you do get Alec Baldwin.
All right.
You get some Baldwin.
All right.
I reeled you back in, but you like this movie.
I did.
Yeah.
I like I like anything to do with like world-ending situations.
So we definitely have to, again, maybe in January. This is a year where it's like 2 movies about the same thing came out. It's like one of those years,
Yeah. What's the other one?
Deep Impact.
Oh.
With Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I've heard
and
of it.
Everyone is like, that's the movie that is more accurate. That is the less Hollywood movie. This is the way more Hollywood movie.
Yeah. Like I love like the more absurd, the better, just because it's like, I don't know, like that's the scariest thing to me. No amount of like boogeymen or slashers or whatever.
Oh, 100%.
It's world ending.
It's world ending because the way this movie opens is amazing. It's Charlton Heston, the guy from Planet of the Apes. Like, huge actor. He was in Earthquake. He's the main guy in Earthquake. Charlton Heston, he's the narrator. He talks about the initial thing that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then he says, it happened before. It will happen again.
And it will.
It's just a matter of when. And then it goes to Armageddon.
Yeah. But like hot take, like because I just eat up any sort of like world ending scenario movie, no matter how bad. Like I am a fan of the movie 2012.
Oh yeah, 2012 is good. Yeah, well that's Roland Emmerich. He's the like disaster king of movies because he did that. He did Day After Tomorrow, Independence Day.
Yeah, like that's like, well, 2012 is known for just being like, I remember I was terrified of that movie. Yeah. And then you watch
because it was leading up to 2012 in
yes!
real life.
Yes.
Yeah, now it's funny because now it's just like that never happened. But we were gearing up for something like that. Because I remember when that movie came out, I was like, yo, these Chinese people better be building these ships quick.
Yeah. No, I was terrified. I remember like it was like gonna be December 21st or something.
Yeah.
And I was terrified. Like I was crying for like months. And then I remember because like my family at the time, shout out to Rick, like he was like, guys, we have to watch this movie. And I'm like, oh boy, a movie. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's not, if you watch it like objectively, it's like
no, but it is a great just piece of entertainment.
Oh yeah. It's entertaining.
Pop some popcorn. Yeah, it's great. So I want to see Deep Impact a lot with you. And I want to watch Greenland with Gerard Butler. I want to watch Greenland with Gerard Butler. Deep Impact I want to see. Don't Look Up is great. Highly recommend Don't Look Up. So anyways, moving on. Armageddon's great.
World-ending movies.
Next up, we watched White Zombie.
Help support our website.
From 1932.
This was my pick because, as most of y'all know, I work at a record store now. Mm-hmm. And he is been collecting records more frequently because of the Rob Zombie Presents. And
this is the first in that series.
This is the first.
Rob Zombie Presents White Zombie.
And, you know, because his hyperfixation at the moment is Rob Zombie.
And he's my #1 artist on my Spotify Wrapped.
He is?
Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Oh, I have to see yours. You didn't show me. Yeah, and then he had a band, White Zombie. So I was just like, you know what?
Let's watch White Zombie.
Yeah.
And I have the Kino edition of this on Blu-ray. So.
Yeah. Which we watched half in the original.
Yeah, she wanted to watch. There's 2 versions on the Blu-ray. There's the original with the film grain, and then there's the digital restoration. She wanted to watch the original, and I did too, actually. But it got to a point where it's like, man, it's really hard to understand some of these people, and there's not subtitles on the disc for some reason.
And you can't even like, it's so blurred that you can't even read their lips.
So I was like, man, can we try the digital restoration? It helped a little, but man, this movie is.
It does take out some of the crackling.
Like this movie is like a lot of it, like a lot of the scenes in this movie, they like cut and it's almost like a whole other movie in like the way it looks and sounds, but it's the same scene. So like to me that is like, oh, what was that, lost or something? Like was that assembled? You know what I
As
mean? Like
human error.
it'll be here and it'll be all crackly. It'll cut and it's like,
Yeah,
and
just
like the picture changes and everything, but it's the same scene.
human error.
So I'm like, wow, like was that like a lost piece and then that was like found and then they put it together, stitched it, or
Well, like a lot of like older films are like hand strung together.
yeah.
So
It was fun to watch just to see that. Yeah,
yeah.
not half bad.
Yeah, I preferred if we're comparing the two, White Zombie and I Walked with a Zombie, I prefer this one.
Because this is considered the first zombie movie
Yes.
ever,
Ever?
right? It's the first zombie movie.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I thought.
I think so. I think you're right.
But yeah, Bella is not a great actor, but he is with his eyes.
Oh yeah.
Those. That's why I love
The
Dracula and
devil's eyes.
White Zombie. Just really kind of lean into using
Those
his eyes.
The devil's eyes. In his
Yeah.
hands.
Ed Wood. He must be double jointed.
Is it just not doing this? Like what's
Yeah. Why do you have to be double jointed?
Yeah, wait a minute. What am I?
Anyways, White Zombie.
Is this like what you do in church? Like
Check it out.
yeah, it's a piece of film history.
Then I whipped out a Lionsgate steelbook that I
It's
wanted to watch.
Literally 90 years apart. We watched these movies.
Literally 90 years apart.
1932, 2022.
With and wow, was this movie great.
Or what I say, Mimu.
Wow.
Mimu.
Wow. This might be the biggest surprise of the month for me.
Yeah. You said World War II rated R action movie, and I said, okay.
Because I had heard people compare it to John Wick.
Well, you didn't say that to me. You just said it was World War II. Again, this is how we decide our movies, people. We pick a few, like, and then we have the other one choose from the pile.
And the way you choose is you look up the Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, that's because most of the time you pull the most obscure shit. I'm just like, I haven't heard of any of these.
To expand your cinematic horizons.
Yeah, but I have to see the mainstays before I branch out. Like, how have I seen like more John Waters movies than I have Michael Bay? I don't know. Like, so yeah, you pulled out this one. And I was like, okay, World War II. I enjoy that topic. Like, that's interesting to me. You sold me. Action, okay.
Yeah, it's great. This
Yeah.
is
Love the dog. What the dog doing?
yeah, my piece of criticism that is not a criticism at this movie, but I tied it to John Wick, where the John Wick franchise started out pretty grounded and then it progressively got dopier and more over the top and just what is happening? How is he still alive? So that's my criticism of the John Wick franchise. Sisu, on the other hand, being compared to John Wick, does not have that problem because right out of the gate with this movie, this dude should have been dead 10 times, if not more. And he's not. So the first movie, if this does turn into, and I think it will turn into a franchise, okay, then this guy can go to space for all I care.
He's literally gonna go to space without a helmet.
I don't care because I won't have a criticism of, man, this doesn't feel grounded.
Well, the thing is, they also acknowledge
Yeah.
it. Like, this guy should be dead, and the other people are like, he doesn't want to die yet, and he doesn't.
And there's a line of dialogue from one of the soldiers going after him, talking to one of the women that they're like holding captive. They're like, "Do you think he's immortal?"
Yeah, and she's like, I don't know. He just
Yeah.
doesn't feel like dying right now.
It's great. But the first kill is actually very reminiscent of this poster where he just turns around and I remember you were like, "Oh, okay."
Well, the
All
first
right.
kill, like,
Where he
because
sticks it in the guy's head.
yeah, well, when you said action movie, like action and rated R can be like, there's varying levels, right, of what like an action movie can do. And right out of the gate, you just get a bloodbath, and I'm like, all right, I'm in it. You done?
Be happy you're not in that.
Ew, poor window. bless you, I guess, because I don't want to get
Thank you.
called out for abuse.
Thank you.
Yeah, the first kill that shows like all the blood, that's when I turned to you and I was like, all right, so this is what we're into. Like, this is the kind of movie we're going for.
Yep.
And it's, I feel like, very rare to see like
A big kind of studio movie
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
get that gore, because this is very gory.
Right.
There is a lot of blood and guts, and that, and also the fact that it takes place during like World War II, because even in something like not Reservoir Dogs, Inglorious Bastards, like that's rated R, that's action, you know, and I mean it's also Quentin Tarantino, but it doesn't, you know, play with blood that much.
Right.
And yeah, it was just very jarring. And also what was jarring to me was people are saying, because I say that because this is compared to a Quentin Tarantino style movie. But I feel like not many people are like, and I understand he wasn't the inventor of this, but I feel like also art direction by Wes Anderson, because it's divided like into chapters, and that's a very Wes Anderson thing to do.
Right.
Like a very staple of Wes Anderson is to divide your movie into chapters. There's just a lot like that was being played with this movie, and I was all for every bit of it.
It's great.
Very surprising.
Very surprising. Very happily surprised.
Yeah.
With this one.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
And then we watched this glorious piece of entertainment.
Well, I like the other poster where it's that you have on the thumbnail.
What? Oh, that's the DVD cover.
That says warning, there are boobs in the first second, and that's not a lie.
Yeah. This movie, man. Wow.
Okay, can I say something?
This movie.
Can I say something? So I'm pretty sure, because didn't Dave watch this?
Yeah.
And that's where I got the idea.
Dave and Tony
watched this, and that's where I got the idea. But I also sort of had it on the list, like in my backlog of just horror movies that I have a big list of. So it would always be in the back of my mind. I brought this to the table because we need a Thanksgiving movie to watch, and also, you know, because somebody else we has seen it. I have this weird, like, it's so not a good movie. Like, objectively, this is not a movie. But I have this weird attachment to it. Like, that I will defend it, like, at any cost. Like,
I'm in that same boat. Yeah, so.
Like, it's such a weird feeling, though, because, so to people who have seen this, you understand. Like,
well, if you like it, then you understand.
Well, if you, like, for people who haven't seen it, they're like, what's so, I mean, they see it right now, but like,
well, that turkey talks.
Yeah, the turkey talks. His name is Turkey, but spelled with an IE, not an EY.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like this weird sort of like nostalgic, like I have this like fondness for it. Like it's very like, this is like a comfort movie. I don't understand. Like I don't know, I kind of love it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like some bad movies, and this is definitely maybe the worst I've ever seen, but there's still some. And then I watched a really nice in-depth kind of showcase from the director, Jordan Downey, who I would love to have on the channel just to talk to him about this, because this is 2008, so he's obviously progressed as a filmmaker. And yeah, like in seeing his like passion for movies as he was talking about it in this behind the scenes, right? So we watched the movie, and then I quickly watched this afterwards, and I was like, because a lot of times that can sway me. Like if the director feels and looks and sounds like all that stuff passionate, like it could be as bad of a movie as this movie, where there's a scene where this turkey has sex with a woman, like switches out the guy, kills the guy, and then
with a gravy flavored condom.
Yeah, and then like taps in with the
tag
chick.
Teams, literally tag teams.
And bangs the chick, and it's a turkey. And then it ends after he like comes in her, and it's like, you just got stuffed. And it's just like, what the shit is this? But I enjoy it so much, to the point where so back to the Criterion thing. I don't pick up Criterions. I pick up the double pack of Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving 3 on DVD. That's what I pick up. Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving 3. Because there is no Thanksgiving 2. That's the whole point of Thanksgiving 3. How the beginning of that movie apparently is them trying to get rid of copies of Thanksgiving 2.
Well, because it was funny because you were on Letterboxd and you're like, wait a minute.
I was like, is this a glitch? Like where's 2?
Why is there?
There's 1, 3, and a musical.
Yeah, there's Thanksgiving 3, the sequel.
Yeah, Thanksgiving the musical.
But there's also a point. No, I think this got me. Like, I was really like down for the count. Like, this movie, like, really, like, it sold me. There was a point where there's the turkey and he's dressed up in like the stereotypical glasses and the big nose. Like, so he's dressed up like a human. And then he's talking to one of these kids' dads, and the dad's dressed up like a turkey. And they're sitting at a dining room table and they're chatting, waiting for the kids to come home.
Well, then remember he like kills one of the dads, puts the face on Leatherface style, and no one knows that they're talking to a turkey. Like they think they're talking to the dad still.
They're talking to the dad.
It's so dumb.
And then they they're trying to be respectful because they don't want to call him like, oh, I didn't realize your dad was a little person.
Yeah. It's just so bizarre and over the top, but it's so funny and it's so entertaining that I picked up the DVD double pack. So, yeah.
I'm just thinking about this movie. And I have the giggles.
I can't wait for next year because next year we're going to watch Thanksgiving 3.
I have the giggles because of this movie.
And that might be the time we get Jordan on around next year. Following up with that, we went into Black Friday. This is a horror comedy with Bruce Campbell, Devon Sawa.
This is so not a movie.
Yeah, this movie is a great concept, as per stated there, but it's not what I thought. Like if I were to think of like Black Friday horror in the way Eli Roth did it, this is not what I wanted.
Because people do think like back then, because it's very much not the case now where people are like stampeding into Walmart, getting their TVs and stuff. Like it's very much, it's calmed down since then, especially with like
very much
like with online and stuff. I mean, people still like line up, but it wasn't as violent. It's not violent like it used to be. Like you would think that like the opening of Thanksgiving was like, you know, like hyperbolized, like, you know, but no, it was really like that kind of that bad. And yeah, so the idea of like, you know, these shoppers, they're like zombies, like mindless, like consumeristic zombies. And that's what this movie is. And then it turns into like a Godzilla thing meets, what's that movie that you like, that Arrow movie? Society. It's like Society mixed in with Godzilla and like, I don't know, like The Last of Us, I guess, because they're not really like zombies. They're like these spore things, like mushroom thing. I don't know. And it's so boring.
Yeah.
It's so like, and you would think like, whoa, like spore infected zombie consumers attacking a toy store on Black Friday. Like that's like real life. Like that's scary. And it's boring. It's so boring. Like how do you make that concept boring?
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty lackluster of a movie. Great practical, I think. They seem practical effects. So. Those were cool.
Well, no, you're wrong. Because the masks, like, because slowly the people turned more into monsters, almost like predator-like monsters, and you would hear them like rah 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 rah, but you would see like they clearly had a latex mask on, and so you could see like the jaw moving, but the mouth of the mask was flat, stationary. So you saw the mask move, but not the actual mouth of the. So rather than painting their face and adding, you know, prosthetics, it was just like they went into like a spirit Halloween and got a mask. And that really, I was like looking at it like,
sure, but it's still practical, and like there's like transformations that go on in here that again seemed like there was a lot of practicality put into it. And
but those masks, like
there wasn't a lot of CGI going on.
Besides when they like shot out that like worm fluid.
Yeah. But overall, this could be a really good idea if it was reworked, rewritten. I really did like that germ obsessed kid.
Yeah, because it's you.
That is me, kind of, yeah.
But like none of the characters are even likable. Like I don't like anybody. And I
Yeah.
don't care if anybody lives or dies.
Yeah. But,
I didn't.
oh well, we checked it out. So
Eh.
and then we followed it up with a very good movie called
Yeah.
Design for Living, which
So-
I will say I don't understand the title of this movie.
Yeah,
Can you
no.
give me some context?
Um,
I don't know what it has to do with anything.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's proper grammar.
Design for Living. Yeah, it feels like it should be designed for living.
Yeah.
But anyways, title aside, this is from the director of The Shop Around the Corner,
Yeah.
which is a really solid film.
Yeah, so like my Mount Rushmore is currently being stewed and stirred because Ernest Lubitsch.
Lubitsch.
Yeah, that's him.
And is it Ernest? Because it's
Ernst.
ERNST.
Well, I could be also pronouncing,
Ernst.
or maybe like
Ernst
because he's
Lubitsch.
German. So
Oh.
if anybody speaks German, I'm gonna say Ernest because that's easier for my American tongue to say.
Okay.
Because he is like really popular in the Criterion Collection,
Mhm.
and these last few entries, and maybe if you let me highlight anything that I watched like on my own time,
Yeah, good.
I've just fallen in love with this director and the way that he does movies. This one is a little lackluster in terms of his cinematography direction, but all of his other ones are so magical. Like there was one, Heaven Can Wait, that like a part of what inspired Barbie. Like I just love the way he does his movies. Like they feel more modern than they really are. Like these are almost 100-year-old movies and they feel like they could have been made today. This one, so this like these last few movies are kind of like a gauntlet of Criterion, I feel. This one was pre-code, so the Hays Code wasn't enacted, and it has to do with this woman not being able to choose between these two guys who are best buddies, and which is like scandalous because like literally the ending shot is like her like kissing both of them in the same shot.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. Also, premarital sex. Whoa. And this is also the time. So, like, I want to say 37. Yeah, because it had to be after the Hays Code. It happened one night, and that's very strict in terms of like sexuality, like in terms of like couples sleeping in separate beds, not even like the whole like the main showing like on the Criterion case of It Happened One Night is a curtain dividing them so they can't even like see each other like while they're sleeping. And this one is literally just her having sex with both of them at the same time. We lived in a society. So this is very scandalous.
Mhm.
But it was funny.
Yeah, like I told you, I have sometimes an issue with me hating a character affects how I feel about the movie. And I have to really kind of switch that part of my brain off. So I don't like this girl at all.
But Marianne Hopkins.
But then that's the point of the movie, I feel like, or one of the points of the movie. Like she is not a likable character. She's very like, wow, like you are just a whore, aren't you? But
God forbid women have hobbies.
but that's, and so during the movie, I found myself not liking it. And then it ended. And then this is one of those cases where you have to let it stew. You have to let it kind of seep in, right? You have to let it, what's that called when you steep, when you steep a tea, right? That's what this kind of a movie is. This is a tea that takes a little bit of steeping. And then I think you'll enjoy it. Very funny. I think it's one of my, I have a list of favorite scenes from movies that I want to do like a video or a stream on, but I think I'm going to add from this the scene where her new husband comes in and they're both in the room with her, and then they go, and then they walk. I mean, they just get up and walk behind the curtain like like they're going to disappear or something.
Like when Fee's in trouble and he goes and hides in his little container, like can't see me now.
That was actually very funny.
Yeah, it has funny moments. Like I love like older film because I love telling people that I love older film because they're like, why? It's like that's so far removed from our society today.
So
how could
boring.
how could you ever like relate to anything?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. This is actually not this is more entertaining than a modern movie like Black Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is kind of a boring movie.
Yeah.
This is not.
Yeah, and Marianne Hopkins, like, you don't like her character, but I love her as an actress. She's in a few other, of Ernest's movies, and she's just so, like, expressionistic, like, she's very cute, very, pep in her steppy, like, very bubbly, I don't know, like, she's just such, like, a cute actress that I love seeing her whenever she's in. Really, yeah, rest in peace, because nobody in this movie is alive today.
Nobody is alive.
Nobody.
That's another thing I always think about. I'm like, wow, every single person, even behind the camera, is dead.
Everybody.
Wild.
Yeah. I just love, like I said in the beginning, like, we've watched, like, a few movies, like, older, and I just love expanding your horizon because I'm more likely to watch, like, an old-timey movie, like, especially on my own versus you to go through your collection and say, "Oh, I wanna watch a movie from 1933."
But I am, as I get older, I'm just more just like how I'm trying to like put that on you too. It's just like I'm I still struggle with it, of course, but I'm more like, okay, I had no desire to see that movie before. I've never heard of it, or you'll give me a movie that I've in the past been like, yeah, I don't know. Like trying to think of an example, like a recent example. Like
Thanksgiving?
no.
Well, that
Um
was one. You were like, "God, I don't wanna watch this movie. I don't wanna watch this movie. I hate, like, can we please literally find anything else?" And you were
it,
scrolling through Tubi and trying to find anything
it
else.
usually happens more with animation because that
Yeah.
is
Isle of Dogs?
definitely yes, that is definitely more of a genre that
Perfect Blue.
I yes, that is and well, that's double whammy, foreign and animation. Um, so that's a struggle for me, but old films like this, like black and white, I don't really have a problem with. I love especially now with Letterboxd, like, it gives an added benefit to it because now it gives me something to log, something to write, so I feel like I'm just like, I love the idea of collecting reviews, like I'm collecting and I wanna see how many can I get before I croak. So,
And like my shirt says,
everybody croaks. So, design for living, I wanna see more from, Mr. Bitch.
Mr. Bitch.
So, I
Yeah, I
can't wait
love
for it.
him as a director.
Can't wait for
Ooh,
it.
good movie up next.
Yes. Next up, we watched All That Jazz
Good. Oof.
featuring Mr. Brody here. That is Chief Brody from Jaws, everybody. Go ahead, take the reins on this one.
This movie made me delete my list of my top 100 films because I feel like I had to reconsider the whole thing.
Oh, you want to just keep it and rework the
No.
titles in it? Okay.
Because, well, that made me realize that, like, yeah, I've seen movies that could have bumped some out and replaced some, but this movie made me go, "Wait a minute. We need to start over. I need a whole new list. I need to figure this all out again."
It's so crazy. We not that long before this we watched Thanksgiving. And
Favorite
now we're watching
movie.
Design for Living and All That Jazz, like critically lauded Criterion titles, cream of the crop,
Like, literally, this
you
is put
know?
away in, like, the National Film
And then we watched
Archive.
Thanksgiving and Black Friday and Thanksgiving, you know? That's what I love about it. That's what I love about cinema. That's what I love about like you have these insane highs and these incredible lows and everything in between. I love it.
Oh my god, the more I think about it, so this movie is not like, we've been putting this one off, but it only recently got put on to Tubi, and now it's getting taken off tomorrow, so whatever.
I think by now it's gone.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Um, so and it's streaming nowhere else. So that sucks. Where if you can find a copy or find a totally legal way to stream it as one does online nowadays, um, do yourself a favor. It's not linear, so it's a little hard to get into
Mhm.
because there's a lot of skipping and jumping around and flashes to this and that. But I only learned after the fact that this is a sort of makeshift Bob Fosse autobiographical fantasy thing.
Mhm.
Like, he is Joe Gideon, the Roy Scheider character, and this is essentially, like, his existential crisis
Mhm.
put onto a movie. Like, his dances with death and like his turmoil with his career and like all work no play make Jack Doll boy.
Mhm.
And literally it's so wow, cuz like you can feel his mental breakdown. Like this is him breaking down. In this scene at the very end, like the grand finale, I'm just like I literally after the credits started rolling, I just sat there and I just stared at the screen. There's just so much to unfold that this needs a rewatch. Like I don't really want to watch movies again after I just seen them, especially ones that go a bit longer, like this one.
This is a little over 2 hours.
Yeah. But I literally could sit down and rewatch this movie now with a whole fresh set of eyes and just notice things and put things together that I wouldn't have yesterday.
Yeah, what a bold choice for a movie for Roy Scheider to do, because by this point it was only 1 year after Jaws 2, so he was very, Jaws 2 is infamous with him being very unhappy on set, very just like, oh God, what I hate that I have to do this, and then he follows it up with All That Jazz, and originally you told me that Richard Dreyfuss was
Yeah.
going to be this character, which is funny, and then he passed because he was like not sure about the project, didn't have faith in it, and then Roy apparently took the role.
And then got nominated for Best Actor.
And I wonder, like, if this was almost like therapeutic for Roy, the way
I think I'm gonna die.
the way for Johnny Depp when he did What's Eating Gilbert Grape. After he finished that movie, he was on record as saying something along the lines of he was depressed during that time. That movie, as great of a movie as it is, made him want to quit acting. Like he was not having a great time. 1 year later, he does Ed Wood, and it rejuvenates everything within him.
Mm-hmm.
So Ed Wood is basically what saved Johnny Depp in terms of acting. So I wonder if this did the same thing for Roy, where it's like, God, I did Jaws too. Oh my God. Oh, All That Jazz.
Yeah. And it's so like, especially with the fact that like him as Brody. So seeing him now dancing and singing and being a choreographer and this total douchebag, like it's so jarring.
Yeah.
But he does it so well.
Yeah. He fits like I didn't, yeah. Just because he visually looks different, like, this is a very different look compared to Brody, even just having like his weight and everything.
Yeah, he's very lean.
Like I had no issues with looking at him and going, I can't get past Jaws, but he'll always be Brody to me. And my favorite will always be Jaws, but All That Jazz is so I had a hard time with this movie until, again, another steep kind of thing. I will say, if I were to make a list, and I have to really think about this, but this has one of the most haunting final film cuts I've ever
Yeah.
seen. I've ever
Holy
seen in a
shit.
movie. I've ever seen in a movie where it's just like because we spoiled.
No, I don't feel like a lot of people have seen this.
Okay, don't spoil that one.
I don't feel like a lot of people have seen this.
Well, if you've seen the movie and you know how it ends, like literally ends, then you know what I'm talking about, where it goes from right?
Oh,
That was haunting as beyond belief.
no. Oh, okay. So, as an artist myself, and I know I'm not anywhere near in the progression of my career like this character is or Bob Fosse was or anything like, but I still, it's a hard it's hard, this sort of career path and being a creator. So, like, of course I won't know to the extent just yet, like as a 40-year-old, 50-year-old man would, but there's a scene and like if I were to make a scene of like top 10 favorite scenes in movies ever, it's when they're in this boardroom and they're getting ready for the play. So they're doing a table read. And they're like, all right, start from the top, just read it all the way through. Let's everybody go through their lines, just see how it all sounds like as like beat wise, like tempo wise. Does it all sound good just being spoken? And as soon as one of the actresses starts talking, it's silent. I mean, dead silent. And all you hear, all the microphones are picking up are the sounds of like the tapping of a pencil or like it's just Joe in his head, it's just
You hear him breathing, right?
you hear him breathing.
Yeah.
And it's just like him tuning out everything.
Mhm.
And he's so hyper fixated on like the tapping of his foot, like the cracking of a knuckle. And then you could just tell that he's like so out of it. And the scene ends with him taking the pencil, bringing it behind his back and snapping it. And then they close the book. Good read, guys.
Mhm.
And it's like maybe 5 straight minutes of just silence.
Mhm.
And you're just hearing audio clues of something. It's so like chilling.
Yeah.
Like I literally held my breath.
Yeah, this is because I have held this Criterion at Barnes and Noble, and I've always put it back. I would pick this up.
It's there right now.
I will, like, not on this sale. The next one,
Well,
I'll
obviously.
definitely pick it up, or a flash sale, because I do also want to give it a rewatch, and that's pretty rare for me to, especially with a subject matter as serious as this, But I do want to give it another rewatch for sure, just because again, I was either not into it or lost for half of it, so.
Yeah, because I mean, and like I said, like until it clicks to you, like probably around like the second or third act, like end of the second, beginning of the third act, until it like clicks, what you realize what's happening and like why it's jumping around, you're like, oh, because you're thinking like, is this a flashback? Are we flashing forward? What's now? What's the present? Who are we? Who are you? You're not in that other scene.
Yeah.
Like, and then it all clicks, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, pause. We have to rewind. We have to rewind, guys. Because I get it. Yeah. Oh my God. Because this whole movie is just like a slow realization on the descent of this guy's mental health and physical for that matter.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I mean, the dancing alone is like captivating. Like, I could just watch them dance. And that could be the whole movie.
As great as Tubi and all those other things are, as great as they are, it would be nice to watch a movie without break in 5, 4,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, and it's just like, hey, do you like buying gas at $5.99? Well, come on down to Kroger's and you can get it for $4.99. Back to the movie, and it's just like, what? So as great as those services are, I would like a movie that is not interrupted,
Yeah. I would also like to know if this was ever pressed on a record, like back in the day.
Laserdisc?
No, like a vinyl.
Oh, a vinyl, like the soundtrack?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, because I would pick that up. Because it's not like, as far as I know, like there's no soundtrack like on Spotify or anything. And it does have really good music.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, the third act. That top tier movie.
Yeah.
Like, I can't explain why, but God, just watch this movie.
Yeah, watch it.
Oh my God. This is cinema.
Very recommended.
There's a reason why in 2001 it was chosen to be preserved in like the National Film Registry or something. Yeah. Why it's in the 1001 movies you need to see before you die, and in Criterion's, like if you scroll, I think it'll even show you in their top 250 narrative. Oh, I guess not.
It might be on the movies page.
Yeah.
I'm on my review right now.
Yeah, movies, yeah, right there, that have a crown are on Letterboxd's top 250 narrative features.
Number 132 in the Letterboxd top 250. And that's the original, like I have the patron thing, so that's the original what you get, and then I usually like to go with the original poster. So I just put that there. But anyways, yeah, please check it out. Be ready for like I write here, a challenging, introspective, uneasy piece of real work wrapped around a Hollywood musical.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good.
And then
what do we watch today?
And then we go from all that jazz
to another musical,
to Adam Sandler's latest effort, Leo. Now, let me just say right out of the gate, they missed their mark on getting Leonardo DiCaprio to voice, but that's neither here nor there. There is a nice little reference to Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie, I will say. A Titanic reference.
Did you like this one?
I did, yeah, I did. Love Adam Sandler, big Sandman fan. So I'm always ready to, watch some new Sandman. So this is his brand newest film. It just came out this past week, and I was curious to see it. I'm not big into talking animal movies.
No.
That's not a sub genre I really dig. But this movie is, I think, playful of that, because there's a like he's talking to the characters and they're like, "What? You're like, you can talk?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can, but don't tell anyone else because."
And that's like a plot point in the movie.
Yeah, don't tell anyone else because you'll die. or whatever. It's like
No, he does say that.
it plays on the talking animal thing. Now what I write in my review here is this is a make or break movie, because this is another one, and I'm not a hater of it, but I also go, God, because you watch stuff like Uncut Gems, right? This is always the thing with Adam Sandler. You watch a thing like Uncut Gems, or even Click for that matter, and you're like, dude, you have so much talent, man. You really do have talent. We've seen it time and time again, but you progressively give us more. Keep giving, progressively give us whatever, continuously keep giving us more of stuff that makes us wonder about your talent. So what I'm referring to is another one of his voices in this movie. He has another voice in the vein of Waterboy, Billy Madison, Jack and Jill, Eight
Little
Crazy
Nicky.
Nights, Little Nicky, Sandy Wexler, That's My Boy. I'm not opposed to it. It didn't make me go, ugh, what's going on right here? But it is always a make or break with Adam Sandler when he does a voice like that.
Didn't hate it only because it's animated. Like, had this been like a whole live action movie with the voice that he does, I probably would have been like,
Oh boy.
but
That's why you just can't ever see yourself watching Jack and Jill.
that's not why. Little Nick,
Cinema.
but that's why, like, that's why I'm opposed to watching Little Nicky.
Little Nicky. Oh man.
And that has literally all the thing, and that's talking animals, and that's.
But it's also hell and Satan.
I know. So like, it has my shtick. It has my shtick. But yeah, maybe like, so the animals sort of like disguised it a bit, and maybe it's also because I'm a lizard fan.
This is true.
So like, because Eight Crazy Nights annoyed me like a lot.
Hey, that's a technical foul.
Shut the fuck up. Like, yeah. So maybe it's the fact that it was cartoon lizard.
And
I'm
again,
biased.
love watching an animated movie that is not Pixar, DreamWorks, or Illumination. That's always refreshing.
Yeah. And look, like, I thought the animation was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him right now. Like, look at all of his scales.
Yeah. But that's the thing now, right? Whereas with Pixar in the early days, that's where I think it was more like, wow. Now I think it's almost just like
Standard?
Yeah, it's just like,
Of course you see the scales. But like,
me saying top-notch animation almost means nothing in 2023.
Well, I don't even think it's necessarily that. Like, the fluidity of the animation is one thing, but it's sprinkled in throughout here. And my main criticism is the fact that it's a musical. Like, it's literally like, it jump scares you.
It didn't need to be a musical.
Didn't need to be a musical, and every song is bad. Like, really
well, except
bad.
for the Stop Crying one.
Oh yeah,
that one's kind of funny. Stop
boo
crying.
Freaking who.
Yeah, boo freaking who.
Yeah, that because crying makes you ugly. And, yeah, that was good. That made me go haha. But
there was moments all throughout where both of us, you were going haha, I was going.
Yeah. But no, there's like sprinkled in throughout those musical moments, like there's like shifts in the animation where it either like changes styles or like adds something to the movie, like, but not jarringly so, but like creatively so. It's really interesting. Like, you could tell that there was care put into the animation, like that this was like a hardworking animation team. Like, I felt it. Like you said, baseline is just having good animation. Going above and beyond is, diverting from the norm, right?
I just want to look up who is the animation on this.
Well, you pointed it out.
Yeah, but I don't remember. It's a Happy Madison production, obviously.
Scroll down. Production.
Okay, here it is. It was animated by Netflix Animation's Animal Logic. Animal Logic is an Australian animation.
Happy Feet.
There you go. So they did
You've never seen Happy Feet.
well, they did the Lego movie. So that's
Interesting.
cool. That's cool. They did the Lego movies, and that's good. And they also did the Great Gatsby, visual effects for the Great Gatsby.
Yeah, that's the thing with animation studios. That they also like they're not just for animated movies; they also do visual effects.
So there you go. That's up and coming. Animal Logic. Not a very bizarre name.
Yeah,
But
not flowing off the tongue.
They might want to rework that one, but
yeah, they definitely went like above it. And I know people like to poke fun, like, oh, they had to animate a turtle peeing. Like, okay, whatever. It's
hard. It is hard because I see what you do right behind the scenes in terms of how long it takes you, and it might be more streamlined where they are, but
yeah, and
whatever.
Well, it's also like you have, and it's like, okay, so to whoever was like, or the group of people that were animating the turtle peeing, it's like, at the end of the day, it's a kids movie, and it's like you can't cringe at that. I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It's a kids movie with adult humor mixed in, so it's a good, easy watch for everybody. This movie was announced in 2016.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it took them that long, also because of COVID, maybe screwed things up. But this movie was announced in 2016 that Adam Sandler was going to be in an animated movie for Netflix, and it just now came out 2023. So
no, the funniest part was like, so it takes place in this 5th grade classroom, but it's all about like an elementary school, and elementary schools tend to have kindergartners. Fucking kindergartners, man.
Oh yeah, they're funny. Yeah.
Like, because they're just like little circle things that are just like,
Yeah.
and they're like little gremlins. And then you just see, like, if you look, I'm sure if you were to rewatch this and you watch a different kindergartner every single time, everyone's doing something different.
Yep.
Like one's like, and then they like run into something. Like,
Yeah.
they're stupid.
Put it this way. We haven't seen because he had 3 Netflix movies come out this year. He did Murder Mystery 2, which we have to still see Murder Mystery 1, Bar Mitzvah, and this. Leo is Leo's
Front
better
runner.
than Bar Mitzvah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So whatever that means to anybody.
And both are sort of like coming of age things.
And I might be biased because he's not in Bar Mitzvah a lot.
But you're also preferring an animated movie, so
again, story, and it is mainly Adam is the big drawing force for me here. So yeah.
Bill Birtle.
But
Bill Birtle.
Yeah, so that's everything we watched. I couldn't keep track of how many movies that was. Let's see here. Okay, cool. So that's everything we watched. Let's see. We're gonna catch up with the chat here, and then we're gonna we got to get some dinner. All right, here we go. Mikey said maybe he's not here anymore. I'll get Letterboxd. It'll happen.
You forgot the D.
Ooh, okay. I'll check it out for It's Me Billy. Yeah, it's a solid one, and he just pretty much wrapped on It's Me Billy Chapter 2.
He did.
So
he wrapped filming.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Also getting him back on the channel, Dave, at some point. Matt says, wait, that Spain import company on Amazon is selling a Blu-ray of 2006 Black Christmas. They're the ones that did the red case release of True Lies. Well, dude, we don't have to worry about True Lies anymore, baby. Come March. Can't wait. What do we got? Rock says Armageddon's a 5-star movie for Eddie.
Did you rate it 5 stars? I don't think so.
I did not know. I think Rock's being facetious.
Oh.
It is a great movie. It is not 5 stars.
Yeah,
it's not 5
the only 5-star this month was Sweeney Todd.
Correct. Yep. I hate to admit this. When I was 10, I watched this movie. I cried when Bruce Willis dies at the end.
Yeah,
why do you hate to admit that?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with. I mean, look, Armageddon.
Is it because you're a man?
Well, Armageddon is a unique movie. It really is.
I would like to watch it.
We didn't even talk about Billy Bob Thornton, like how he's almost maybe the best part of that whole movie.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton.
I love Billy Bob Thornton. Like, he's my everything. Like, I too. Like, when Angelina Jolie wore a vial of his blood around her neck, I felt that.
So, yeah, I don't know. Well, thanks for spoiling that. I didn't know he died in Sin City.
I forgot he died in Sin City.
If I watched Armageddon now, after about hearing his diagnosis, I might cry.
I think that's also sort of why I got upset.
Teary-eyed, yeah.
Yeah, that's like
Well,
so sad.
we're going to be watching Die Hard in theaters this month for December, and that's going to be, sad. Thinking he can't
Oh.
even do anything like that.
Oh, he can't
Can't do
he
anything.
can't even talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so sad.
The Rock is supposedly a James Bond movie.
What?
I don't know. I've never seen The Rock.
Never seen a James Bond movie.
This is why they put one, because they want you to buy more movies. This is why they put one, because they want you to buy more movies. You're talking about Criterion, I feel like.
Sales?
This is why they put one. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Judd. This is why they put one, because they want you to buy. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're
Oh my
saying.
god,
there.
we're over 2 hours.
More human than human. I'm at Astro Creep. I'm an Astro Creep. Oh, okay. You're talking about Rob Zombie. Astro Creep. Big sneeze. Yeah, no one said bless you.
Yeah, it's like when your cat does a big stretch. If you don't say big stretch, then was it?
Ooh, I don't know what movie you're talking about. 4K. I'm sorry. For future reference, because we do these streams where we can't see the chat as we're talking and we talk for a long time, if you're talking about a movie specifically in a question, make sure you always put the movie. So is that movie, parentheses, what the movie is on 4K? Because I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to need to check out Design for Living.
It's so good. It is so good.
It is very good.
It's funny. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just have like a stupid sense of humor, but like you said, like there's a scene where they pop out from behind like a changing curtain, and they just, when the other husband comes in, they just act like they've been here the whole time, and then they go back. Oh, that's stupid.
You guys are making me wish I would have gotten All That Jazz during the sale. I'm tapped out.
Oh, dude, you're missing out.
Next time. There's always next time.
Next time. There will be no next time.
All right. Dell, what's up, dude?
Hello.
Hello. Remember when Eddie used to do his Robert De Niro impression? Oh, like that? Oh, yeah?
Ew.
You talking to me, fucker? Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Ew.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, fucker? Oh, yeah? Oh, we got to watch Meet the Parents.
Ew.
Okay, here we go. Agree about Sandler having lots of talents. Critics and movie buffs like us are frustrated, but the general public eat it up. His bank account says so, so we get way more. We get way more crap than good stuff. Yeah, I think it's also he just he knows he like you have to know you're like, because he also gets accolades and everything, so you're talented, and he is so humble that he is just like, instead of doing all that stuff, like ego boosting and everything, I'm just going to make a very casual, relaxed movie
And have fun.
with my friends.
And his daughters.
Yeah, my family, my friends. And I'm just going to, that's it. And then we're left wondering, dude, what choices are you making here? But then every once in a while, we get an Uncut Gems, a Punch Drunk Love, a Reign Over Me.
And I think that's what makes those movies feel even better.
Because they're rare.
Yeah, it's because we don't expect them.
Yep. You just bought the DVD of Armageddon at Barnes & Noble for 43 cents. Well, assuming the aspect ratio, that is like, it's almost like, obviously it would be a little bit bigger, but it's like the size of this box we're in right now, but it's a little bit bigger.
Do you care about missing 15 minutes of the movie?
I was going to say, like, take it back. Just get the Blu-ray.
I mean, 43 cents though. You can like eat it as a snack or something.
Yeah. Wipe your ass with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Score? Oh, I don't know what you mean there, but are you talking about so like the movie we recommend every month?
Oh.
So I'll star that, and then we'll quickly say this. There we go. All right, what's the movie?
All That Jazz.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me make a full screen. There hold on. Yep. There we go. All That Jazz.
All That Jazz. Like only, but because it literally made me delete the list on my letterbox because now I have to rethink everything.
Yeah, this one's hard. We watched a lot of good movies this month.
If it wasn't for All That Jazz, I'd be thinking a little harder.
I'm gonna go.
Thanksgiving.
No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna recommend Death Proof.
Why?
Death Proof.
Because it's underrated.
Because it's underrated. I don't know. Like that movie was the first of the month that really kind of shifted everything for me because it was kind of like a, just like it was like a normal month kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, here comes Death Proof. And I'm like, oh, okay. This is why I like movies.
I like the fact that I picked All That Jazz because it's a Criterion during Criterion month.
Yeah. So Death Proof is obviously not the best movie of this month, but it is the one that is just like, it just came out of left field for me. So Death Proof, All That Jazz. Those are our recommendations. Let's finish these comments and then we're going to get some dinner. That's 42 cents too much.
Did I say that out loud?
How did you get a movie from Barnes & Noble for less than $1? That's a good question, actually. Oh, here we go. The movie was $5.99. I had a $5 reward, and I'm a member. 10% off.
That's crazy.
Yep, love those Barnes & Noble rewards. Yep. All right, well, there we go. That wraps up another month of talking about every movie we watched during that month. Now, tomorrow is December 1st. And I would like to, maybe not tomorrow because I work late, but maybe December 2nd. So not tomorrow, but the next day. I would like to do another live show, kind of talking about all the movies and everything we plan to watch in December. Kind of, because I know last year we did a stream where we just talked about everything in December at the beginning of December. So I want to do something like that again. We missed it with October, but I would like to do that with December, just, because I have a new list on my Letterboxd, all the new Christmas movies I've never seen that I'm planning on watching this month. So
I'm excited actually because we're seeing 2 movies.
3 in theaters.
3. Well,
Silent Night, White Christmas, and Die Hard.
Well, I was gonna say.
Oh, and The Abyss, but that's not Christmas.
But no, I was saying the 2 that are not just any theaters. They're essentially the SCAD theaters.
Yeah. White Christmas and Die Hard.
Yeah, I was specifically highlighting those because I'm excited to go back to those because I really love those theaters.
Yep, they are very nice. Where we saw Halloween during October.
Yeah, and where I saw The Boy and the Heron.
Yep. So that's going to be very exciting. So maybe on Saturday, this coming Saturday, we'll be back live talking about all the stuff we want to.
Damn, I want to watch another movie tonight, but we already did the stream.
Yeah. And we did
Leo, but
yeah,
even
Leo.
So, I'm like down for another movie. Before we get into
have
Christmas.
A great night, FOS. You too, Laren. See you soon. Love these streams. Love you, man. All right, bye. All right, bye, Rock Music. Have a great night, guys. You too, Dell. I want to see Die Hard in theaters. Yep, it's very exciting. Never seen Die Hard.
Never seen Die Hard.
That'll be a neat experience.
What about Die Hard 2?
Nope. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody that was here also throughout the show. And then if you're watching on the replay, appreciate that. Appreciate that as well. We'll be back very soon. But until then, there's one thing you have to do. Keep being fans of something by November.